Good morning and welcome to the Be the Light meditation. I noticed I just let someone in the door to join us, and good morning, my friend. So we're all muted and we're beginning the meditation. And we were just having an amazing exploratory talk about where's our community? Where's this home? Where's this divine plan? It still seems so nebulous. And one of the guests on the call said, you know, there's not that many people in my vicinity, in my neighborhood, who are awake enough that I can really talk to and feel a resonance with. In other words, you're talking about what you're experiencing. You might be invisible or worse, right? So there's a beauty in that. There's a beauty that I often say that this team is composed of visitors here like myself and you from all around the world. And if we were like my mother in her community, all the ladies, after the men went to work, this was the 50s, would come down and sit at my mother's table. She was a projector, so she would tell them everything they needed to know. But my mom's world was so small, there was no internet. And at nighttime, I would say, hey, Mom, what are all those books you're reading? When I was about 20, she was reading Edgar Cayce and Seth Speaks. So she was a good Catholic girl. And no one, absolutely, I don't even know how she found out about those people, but she was a Stanford graduate. But she was a good Catholic girl. So unless we break out of that eggshell and have other people to confirm, the divine plan it's so big, it's so airy-fairy, and some of us have waited because it's been slowed up. Some of my friends have waited for decades. How exhausting and how potentially disappointing. And some of them are actually getting diseases because they've lost their zest and the remembrance of their toolkit to reorient and hold themselves to health. There's nothing exciting for them to do if they're isolated and they're waiting. So that's one of the reasons I do the meditation, but there's many ways for people to reach out to other communities where the light is emerging. And it might seem slow to us, but in spiritual time, the reorientation of Earth from fear to love to absolute jewel of the multi-universes, that's going to take hundreds of years. The good news is right now there's enough of us awake, okay? And because of the internet, we are connecting. And we go to fairs and we go and we meet people. And yesterday, I introduced one of my friends to a bright light. And so what happens is this friend meeting this friend, they exchanged, they galvanized the larger grid of awakening people with inspiration, ideas, and activation. Because even though there's the Bezos, there's, these people thinking they can buy up the world, they can't. The earth will not be inherited by rich czars, kings, selfish top-down mentality. The earth has said it, the plan is only those who honor earth can be here, and it's not going to be individuals' design, it's going to be community, cooperative, collaborative, co-creative. Those are feminine, flowing, intuitive things like, oh, I'm getting a feeling that this isn't what this person wants. I can talk to them about it. Let's find a solution where the masculine is, they're not doing what I want. Oh, I'm going to have to pull back their resources and I'm going to have to shame them. I'm going to have to be quiet and ghost them and gaslight them. We're shifting everything by being awake to the truth and the potentials. So last year, Spirit said, Jan, after COVID, everybody, their creative imagination Geiger counter is like this. all the reasons that we know. I'm not going to go through them. If people can't see it, how can they believe it? So I said, well, at least the intuitives, the feminine part of the male and female body, the soul part, the heart part, have the opportunity to look into the future. Just go on the time grid. So all last year, I held circles on Zoom and in person in Port Townsend, that we would not be doing all of our healing ad nauseum. We imagined we were healed enough, went to the 0 point, and we did quantum future envisioning circles. We went deeply into what would be the highest, best expression of humanity living together unselfishly, with reciprocity, with the whole mobile just somehow working, and people just being kind and loving each other, even when they're a little weak. Oh my God. I call it the undefended state. To just be okay. What is. To be fair, to not hide the truth. So we looked into the future, 5 years, 20 years, 100 years. Phenomenal. Stupendous. Of course, this was a small sample of humans who, when you go to the 0 point, fear has no place there. You cannot go to the 0 point holding the green colored glasses or brown of fear. You can't. Physics wise, you must hold a higher vibration to go up and go into the zone of expanded seeing communication. That's why it's so important to still our mind, because our mind has these little thoughts that keep us from seeing the potential futures. So these are people that had some skill sets and have benevolent ideas about what they'd like to see in the future, but we're the leaders anyway, so we're the ones that should use our creative imagination. Mary Magdalene, in all of her, in the Gospels and everything we know about her, she said, that is your God-given trait as a human. I don't think frogs and dogs think about creating the perfect dog house, the perfect dog community or park. No, we have the ability, our consciousness as sentient human beings have phenomenal skills based on our consciousness. Animals are wonderful too. They do have consciousness. Don't get me wrong. But they're not planning the future, okay? Maybe in the etheric when they're out of their dog body. But here we are looking to the future. And now the question is, how do we get to that future? So we're starting to sit at the table and to think, how about this? How about that? This is actually an image of a property that we're actively looking at. Beautiful pear tree. And then I look at other community plans and they're more, oh my goodness, they're going to have a huge dome with surround sound and spas with lights and absolute new age technologies that cost a lot of money. So there's so many ways we can look at the future, but how do people like us, short of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Oprah's money, how do we begin the process of conversation for sharing properties in the new way? Sharing. The old days, sharecroppers. There has to be models, ones that don't demean, marginalize, or make anyone less than. The problem is there's billions and billions of people on this planet, and it's very difficult. So many have such low education and understanding and have been kept in slavery mentality. We have to just start ourselves. We must start creating it ourselves with the people that we know who are lighting up the grids with new information and new initiatives. And we must trust that there are benevolent beings with mega resources who, through maybe guilt or things are falling apart, they're just going to we'll start magnetizing with these benevolent ideas if we do our due diligence, if we build the programming, the ideas that's not too crazy and futuristic, unless that's what they want, that begins with here on the ground management of resources, people to develop services and food and provide water when things get crazy. So why am I doing this? Well, why are you listening to this? We promised to be on the leading edge so that the meek, the kind ones, could inherit the earth. If we don't create new sustainable ways of living, there will be continuous creation of composting of people living in huge solo houses, rich on the hill, selfishly. Think about that. Anything that is not in divine alignment will. Things are burning, things are flooding, the ground is moving. And we're not saying that the people living on those properties are not good, wonderful, divine beings. We all signed up. We all signed up for this time. We have a responsibility to continue merging into potential futures, shedding more light. And those geophysical cataclysmic changes have already been significantly mitigated from the prophecies of even 50 years ago. So we are responsible, is what I'm saying, for what does and what doesn't happen, and what doesn't happen through our volition of waking up and taking the rudder of our gifts and responsibility and getting into community. There will be more havoc, discretion, and pain. It's not as if we're creating these ideations for new community for every single person on this planet to go. No, that's folded into the divine plan as well, that eventually there will be a break, and those that decided to stay life in the fear-based realm will have every opportunity, free will to do so, and those that want to create new properties. So I talked to an artist last year, and he's a visionary artist who paints new paradigm things. And I said, you've been talking about a community for years. I'm going to come and I'm going to sit and I'm going to bring other artists and initiators, and we're going to talk so you can actually write your plan. And he did. After we met in Nevada City, which Edgar Cayce said is the first city of light to emerge on the planet, he made his plan. It was beautiful. Performance event space, yoga classes, organic gardening, people buying and opting in. So people are taking, I call it taking the helm of your part. You have property, or if spirit keeps nudging and you keep seeing a property in your future that you might be guiding or partnering or whatever, yesterday was the time to do it, which means today is just a little bit late, but it's time. So follow that thread, follow that dream, and then find like-minded souls with similar goals of resonance, people that you like, people that you'd be okay to hang with for a very long time for this creation. But here's the other beautiful part. Say this person is engineering, an architect, the middle of the maypole, and attracts other beings to support that property, that dream. This person can actually then travel to any state where someone else is doing something similar and visit. Why? To share their methodology, their energy, their mastery, what they've discovered. And in this way, having this visitation ability. This is the template of SOAR, sounding our authentic resonance. Teachers who are holding the field, even in a home, doing education, even doing Zooms. That person is then invited over here to my new clients in United Kingdom, okay? Maybe she has the community and will invite me over. I've been invited to Puerto Rico. I've been invited to Japan, France, all these wonderful places. And then you come home and what do you bring? More information, more beauty, more joy. I don't think we were all meant to live in one place with one person for our entire lives. So you have a partner, you can travel together. But these are just ideas to get us out of. So many of my clients, well, I want to buy into this nice retirement home and they'll feed me, I'll be safe. If you're listening to this call, safety is not your first priority because you've already learned that faith and trust and listening to spirit takes you on the best adventure. We are spiritual gypsies, adventurers, collecting the pieces, meeting the other teammates, and coalescing dreams, properties, temples, spas, organic gardening. And if you stay in that flow and you keep acting as if, the money will come, the people will come, and you just use your discernment. And the discernment that you have will enable you to find the exact people that resonate on your resonations. You will attract people at your level, okay? You don't like the people you're attracting and hanging out with, meditate more, raise your vibration, because as you raise, the others can see you at that vibrational level. So what we're going to do today is every individual person on this call, and hundreds, if not thousands, will see it in the future because I have my YouTube, pop into all these streaming things all around the world. What would you like to experience? What? And maybe you can't even see it. Maybe you can't imagine it. That's why we're going to go in and we're going to feel into you, your beauty, your gifts, like a Swiss watch fitting in where you are seen, you are expected, you are loved, the resources you bring are honored, and you're bringing value to that community. We're going to do this as a meditation, and then we're going to come back and we're going to share. That's how we grow. After this call, I'm going to talk to a woman who she and her son built off the grid property in the Midwest. I'm going to pick her brain, and then I'll have more records in my brain to share. So we are going to drop into a meditation now for 1 minute only. I'll turn off my fan. It keeps me cool. I don't like hot weather. I'm Norwegian. All right. Shut your eyes. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We stop our thoughts. You know how to do this. Just bring the little blinking aperture down. Blip, blip, blip. 0 point. No thoughts. Just take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth and melt down into your body. And know that you are safe, alert, and that you are guiding this powerfully. We ask and intend to set this sacred space and bring in your spirit guides. Let them surround you. Feel their vibration and feel that they already know your best, highest role, mission, and expression for helping develop benevolent community on earth. So they already know. And they are holding those vibrational potentialities. As you take your attention to your heart and you ask yourself, am I willing to align my will with that which will bring me the greatest happiness, the greatest sense of efficacy, the greatest sense of I am home and I am with my people, and I have fulfilled my contract with my Creator this time around? Are you willing to let go of the past and look to the future with anticipatory joy? The way you painted your life before, all the muted colors, the confusion, now you know where humans are headed. You know it's going to take people thinking in new, out-of-the-box ways. I'm feeling your geometric structures of your brain expanding and moving as I speak. You are extrapolating information from the etheric future of a very, very, very beautiful high vibration realm, which is just a few steps away from where you and we are now. This is right before the birthday party. You can smell that cake and see it. Before all the friends arrive. But they will arrive because your heart is putting out an invitation. I want to celebrate living heaven on earth with like-minded people. And I want to begin now. Not talking about it, not thinking, not reading, but devoting and anchoring your will to moving forward and being this change that you've wanted to see. People can't create for and with you unless they see your light blinking that says, yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm in. So you have to say yes first. So take a deep breath as your heart tries on saying, yes, I'm in. Because what's the point of even going to look at a future potentiality if you haven't totally bought in and believe? You must believe. Take a breath through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel if there's any part of your body that is resistant, because this is requiring a big leap. This is a fish going from the small fish bowl into a very big fish bowl, goldfish, and while he's leaping, he has to hold his breath. So why wait in the middle? In fact, many of us have been waiting in the middle. Make sure we're going to hit that fishbowl, and we're taking too long. To imagine that you are mustering up all of your will, all of your flying capability, and as a goldfish, whew, take the leap and feel yourself landing into the field of dreams, the expanded, beautiful world. Just like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, to land in a colorful world with music and food, beloveds, joy, and everything is interwoven. This movie doesn't stop. It can't be interrupted. It is very real. So we sometimes must feel it in our sensory system to believe it. We're going to drop into our heart with no thoughts, no predetermination or pictures. We ask that our consciousness move forward out from our heart and go on the time and space grid, the 0 point nearest where your body is sitting. You don't have to know what this is. We simply make the intention. Connect with that 0 point. And now move to the future and see where you want to live, holding this vibration of belief. And when you arrive at the destination that you and your higher self is choosing as the most representative to give you the most inspiration and joy, hover there. See, feel, allow yourself to be drenched in that reality that will change even the spin of the atoms within your cells. Breathe in this energy, embody it. Allow your light body structure to be galvanized and to actually hold that form. So in a moment when we travel back into your physical body, you will implant that form here now that already knows how it all got created, that has the wisdom and the oversight and the belief that it's possible because you tasted it, you saw it, you felt it. So take a deep breath of appreciation for this ability to be on the leading edge, the cutting edge of joy and excitement for profound change for Earth, for the betterment of all species moving forward. So as you come out of it, go ahead and tap different parts of your body, especially your chest. Bring it here, make it real, and feel that you still have that energy here, whatever you sensed and felt. It just came right across from those 0 points and went through that decoding mechanism to help you understand any words or messages. We each have the information come through in different ways. There's no right or wrong. Some may have felt just a color. Some may have felt just a sense of lightness. Maybe you'd left your physical body and you're hovering in between. Who knows? Our human mind is so limited, we hate to even assign a story or label to our experiences, but just trust it. You are learning to navigate worlds, parallel realities, and to retrieve information and to come back and have more personal power and more mastery. You can affect more change if you understand and see more and have the confidence that it's real and it's going to happen. In this way, you are creating a brighter future through you. And together, we share our visions and say, I have that vision too. Hey, you wanna blank? This is how this realm got created. And so we're lifting out of our old story and looking at the happy potential and create something new. Good. Okay, so we are finished with this part of our talk meditation today. And go ahead and imagine that you're putting a golden resilient egg around your entire body. Why? Because your energy field is in flux, and we're sensitive or vulnerable, and someone else comes in and, hey, did you hear the news today? Okay, just keep this, so let it can settle in without interference. Okay, great, good. All right, so I'm going to press the recording off, and I'm going to bring everybody in, and you can share to any degree that you care to what you experience so that we all can grow and have inspiration. This is how we're changing the world. I'm Jan Jorkinson at soundandlighthealingarts.com. Thank you.